On September 1st, 1987, Ghana brought into existence the Junior Secondary School JSS system, which produced its first fruits BEC candidate and graduate in 1990. The first BEC was therefore written in 1990. This was part of the free and compulsory primary education that was introduced to Ghana with the Education Act of 1961. But all this will be history because, per the new curriculum introduced in 2019, a new examination will be administered to the first batch of junior high school learners in 2024. Based on this, the Central Regional Education Director, Mr. Emmanuel Esuman, throws a little light on it during an interview with Mr. Omar bin Abdallah on the MC Online TV Osukabi program.
The GES is going through a series of transformation. So we've changed the syllabus from objective curriculum to standard based curriculum. So meaning that we want the student to be self-dependent, to be able to compete with other countries or be globally competitive, to be critical thinking. So it's not the issue of objective where we only interested in the performance, where students chew, pour, pass, and forget. But we want them to be practical, innovative, to be creative, to be problem-solving candidates. That's why we are trying to ensure that because of the presentations, the assignments that they do, they can be able to shine away from this objective curriculum where only the theory aspect that the children go through. But this time we want them to be purely practical of the things that they learn. It's obvious. The world itself is changing. When this, like you said, this BEC started, there wasn't any enough, let me say, even if there were some computers. But things have changed. Yeah. Now we are in the technological world. Now children are using phones, tablets. So we should change the system to suit the current needs. If we don't change and we go by the old system, then we will be left behind. So whilst the system is changing globally, then there should be a change that will fit our children into the global world. Now children are, in 2020 we had this pandemic of COVID. By then there wasn't any kind of virtual teaching. But as a result of that, now we are off the whole country, we've embraced that technology where in some seminars and workshops, they are done virtually. And we have some universities, not some, all the universities started online lecturing. So the system globally is changing. That's why we are trying to, not just for fun, but because globally the world is changing, then GS must also fit into this system, whereby we change the system of the teaching, the development that we want the children to be, so that globally they can compete.
He also emphasizes that this year BEC, Central Region has recorded 4 inmates writing the BEC.
It is the first ever that we have inmates from the Ankafo prisons. 4 of them also writing this year. They are all males. In fact, I asked of their ages, but I don't have that figures now. But the news is that we have 4 males from inmates from Ankafo prisons also writing BEC for this year 2023.
Madam Angela Frempoma Nkansa, Acting Director, HRMD of Ghana Education Service, Accra, also has this to say.
Students are writing the basic education examination, and we need to go out and monitor what is actually happening in all the centers. So I was given Central Region to come and monitor, pick some schools and centers and monitor what is actually going on, how they are conducting the examination. So that is why I'm here. I got here around 7 a.m. and I went to Infansipem school. I talked to the children and encouraged them. And also, I went to Adisado College. From there, I went to St. Augustine's and then to WAEC Center. And in all these centers, I talked to the children. I told them the management of Ghana Education Service is with them. We know and believe that the teachers have done so well, and our children are going to make us proud. I told them to desist from cheating and encourage them to do their best. In fact, I was impressed the way they conducted the morning section, because the children, the tables, the what do you call it, those who are supervising, they were all around when I got there. The children were well, the tables were well arranged and everybody was there and the papers came on time. I think it was at Adisado that they started 2 minutes after 9 because the questions were a bit late. But even that, they comported themselves. Everybody was there. So I can say that Central Region, so far so good for the first day. And I also went to WAEC. And for the first time in the history of Central Region, 4 inmates are writing BEC as private candidates. And I was so amazed. I took time to look at their handwriting, very neat handwriting. And I believe they will come out successful. And so I think the regional director and management will discuss issues later concerning these inmates. That is, if they come out successful. It's not in my purview to give any directive. Management will look at it depending on their performance and what the regional director submits. So I can say that the first day, it's been impressive. I've really, I would say, appreciated management of Central Regional Education Directorate and then WAEC and all those who are helping to make this examination successful. I would say it's not for only parents to take care of these adolescents. It behoves on all of us, the community, teachers, parents, church leaders, everybody, to sort of bring these young ones closer to them. It's like they look for information they are not getting from the adults. So they seek it elsewhere and they are landed in this mess. But GES has a policy. Even after this pregnancy, you can come back to school. And so the centers I visited, I think I had 3 issues. 3 ladies, you could see that they are heavily pregnant. And I asked the invigilator whether there is any, you know, sometimes the boys will tease them. They said no. So I encouraged them to sort of, protect her in a way and not tease her. And then the teachers should also encourage them. it has happened. You cannot throw the baby away. But then let us encourage them to go on with their education and not, cut it short because they got pregnant. There is a bright future ahead for them. And we must all come together to help them to achieve their objectives in life.
Mr. Emmanuel Esuman advises students, teachers, and parents as well.
We have a system called Back to School. We started a long time that pregnancy cannot prevent a child's education. So we have a measure where if you are pregnant, you can still access education. Even if when you give birth, you can come back and be enrolled. So there's measure for GES that every candidate, every girl that is pregnant, that shouldn't be the end of his education. Maybe it's not part of the disciplinary issue that you should get pregnant in. But the idea is we don't want to leave everyone behind. So like I said, pregnancy or giving birth shouldn't prevent a child to achieve his or her goal. So that is GS. We have the system is even at the examination hall, even at the SS when you are pregnant. Right. The parent, when you give birth, the parent can take care of your child, and then the child will continue her education. So we have measures put in place, and it has already started. We've started. So that is the information we have for all those.
This year, BEC, we have 600,714 candidates, comprising 300,323 males and 300,391 females across 18,983 participating schools and 2,139 examination centers in Ghana. In the Central Region, the overall number of registered candidates for this year's BEC is 68,049, comprising 52,949 candidates from public schools and 15,100 from private basic schools. 2,381 schools registered candidates for the examination, with 1,393 and 988 representing public and private schools respectively. 55 students with special needs in the areas of low vision, deaf, autism, cerebral palsy, and learning difficulty.